Disney World is known as the most magical place on Earth, and I believe this is true. Disney World is a great family trip destination, even with the smallest of Disney fans. In fact, I think toddlers are the perfect age to enjoy Disney magic. However, Disney World with toddlers requires knowing some special tips and tricks to make the most of this special family vacation. What's up, everybody? It's Nick with Who Dat Travel. I'm here with another Disney edition and the ultimate guide to Disney World with toddlers. First, we'll talk about the parks and also stick around to the end of the video to hear the best tips for taking your toddlers. Now, let's jump into it. There's no denying that Magic Kingdom is amazing for toddlers. When people think of Disney World, they usually picture the Magic Kingdom with the iconic Cinderella's Castle at the end of Main Street. Magic Kingdom has the most ride options for toddlers, with only 6 attractions, soon to be 7 with the addition of Tron, having any height requirement. Magic Kingdom has 24 rides for toddlers and preschoolers, which is one reason that this park is so fun for families with small kids. For more info on all of the rides, take a look at my Rides for Toddlers at Disney World, a guide to Magic Kingdom. I'll link it above. But your family can take a spin in the teacups on Mad Tea Party, fly through the air with Dumbo, or be a part of Ariel's story on Under the Sea. Character cavalcades make their way down Main Street throughout the day. These impromptu character parades are so exciting for toddlers, especially when it seems Mickey is waving just to them. It is easy to spend a minimum of 2 really full days at Magic Kingdom with a toddler or a preschooler. Our favorite Magic Kingdom toddler rides are Buzz Lightyear's Space Ranger Spin, Dumbo the Flying Elephant, It's a Small World, Mad Tea Party, The Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh, Peter Pan's Flight, Pirates of the Caribbean, Prince Charming's Regal Carousel, Under the Sea, Journey of the Little Mermaid, and of course the Haunted Mansion. Just a note, although there is no height requirements for either Pirates of the Caribbean or Haunted Mansion, some kids might find them just to be a little bit scary. So it is in your best interest to know your child's tolerance on these fear factors. Now, Little Man has never had a problem with Haunted Mansion, but then again, he's been riding on it since he was about 6 months old. So just to let you know, after the stretching room, there is a chicken door for just the emergency exits if you need it. Now, there are fun things to do with toddlers at the other Disney World parks too. Just because Magic Kingdom is the most iconic Disney World park doesn't mean the other parks aren't fun with little ones. There are special attractions and different character options for toddlers at Epcot, Hollywood Studios, and of course Animal Kingdom. Let's start with Hollywood Studios. Now, do you have a fan of the Toy Story movies besides yourself? If so, the amazement in their eyes as they become the size of a toy in Andy's backyard is something that is not to be missed. Walking around Hollywood Studios Toy Story Land can be a lot of fun, even if your kiddos aren't tall enough to ride the 2 major attractions there. There are bright colors and fun details that are perfect for toddlers throughout Toy Story Land. Although most rides have a height requirement at Hollywood Studios, Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway and Toy Story Mania are perfect rides for toddlers. If you have a Frozen fan, you will definitely want to set aside time for the first time in forever Frozen sing-along celebration. This funny retelling of Frozen makes the little ones and parents giggle in delight. It really does have a lot of humor just for the adults. Moving into Epcot, although there are a lot of people that say Epcot is too boring for young kids, I completely disagree. Little Man loves this park. There are a lot of rides without a height requirement, a giant aquarium, and of course fun scavenger hunts during the festivals. Characters like Winnie the Pooh playing in a field, Belle, Jasmine, or even Anna and Elsa in World Showcase will also delight toddlers at Epcot. Honestly, we see more characters at Epcot than any other park, hands down. So if your toddler or preschooler wants to see characters, really Epcot is the place. Now, not everyone notices the model trains in Germany, but Little Man is completely obsessed. To be honest, he would spend all day at the choo-choos and not have a problem with it. Some advice to you all that are waiting for your toddler or preschooler to be done watching the trains: Look for the little details. For example, the teeny tiny banners on the light post mimic the current Epcot Festival banners. Moving on to Animal Kingdom, if you have a toddler that is obsessed with animals, then spending time at Animal Kingdom is perfect. Heading to Kilimanjaro Safari right in the morning is a great way to start off the day, and it will delight the kids of all ages with an up-close view of lions, giraffes, hippos, elephants, and more. One of the best things about Kilimanjaro Safaris is each time you ride, it is a different experience. Now, the Festival of the Lion King returned in summer of 2021 to entertain guests at Animal Kingdom. And now, the flying monkeys are even back. How could you not want to see that? Now, this is a fast-paced live show featuring the Lion King story with some songs and acrobatic feats, sure to fascinate the little ones. A newly reimagined Finding Nemo musical, The Big Blue, is also now open. Now, let's talk about some of the reasons to take your toddler. First off, kids under 3 years old are free. That's right, toddlers under the age of 3 do not need Disney World park tickets. Now, not having to buy a park ticket for toddlers is a considerable savings. For reference, as of July 2022, a 4-day park hopper ticket for a 3 to 9-year-old runs over $572 when purchased directly from Walt Disney World. Toddlers can experience much of the joy of Disney World for free if they visit before turning 3 years of age. That leaves hundreds of extra dollars for things that you actually want to spend money on when visiting Disney, like, well, souvenirs. Next, Disney World Park Pass reservations aren't needed for toddlers. Yes, kids under 3 years of age do not need a ticket for Walt Disney World parks, which means they don't need a Disney World Park Pass reservation either. Toddlers are allowed to enter a theme park if you have a valid theme park admission and reservation for that day, which also means if you are going to actually pay for Genie Plus, they don't have to be on that either. So in other words, you don't have to pay the extra $15 for your under 3 years of age little child. Also, children under 3 years of age don't pay for food. Well, kind of. Children under 3 are free to share a meal with others in your group at no charge, or, of course, you may pay for a kid's meal. Now, family-style meals make it easy to feed your toddler without additional cost. However, you do want to include toddlers in dining reservations. Although you may not have to pay for a toddler at a meal at Disney World, you must include the child in the number of people for a dining reservation. For example, on a larger multi-family trip that we just had, there were 4 adults, 1 3-year-old, 1 2-year-old, and a 6-month-old in our group. This meant I needed to make any of my advanced dining reservations for a total of 7 people. I know this can be a little bit confusing since you don't count toddlers for Disney World park reservations, but it is crucial that everyone in your party is counted for dining reservation. It actually has to do with fire codes. Of any tip, this one is probably the most important. Set aside time for your toddlers to rest. It is tempting to try and push through nap time and spend every moment possible at the parks. Don't do it. Visiting Disney World is tiring for adults, and especially for kids. Tired families are prone to have epic meltdowns, which we've witnessed in other families. Okay, well, maybe we've witnessed them in our own family as well, but building in quiet time for toddlers, returning to a hotel for an afternoon nap makes a happier experience for everyone. Taking a midday rest is especially important when visiting Disney World when it is hot. The next thing to consider with your toddler is, should we bring or rent a stroller? Now, Disney World parks and resorts are large, sprawling places. Actually, Disney World is 42 square miles. It is the same size as San Francisco or double the size of Manhattan Island. Exploring Disney World racks up some shocking numbers of walking miles each day. For example, on average, we will walk 10 to 14 miles in a day. Now, my legs are tired at the end of a day, so I can only imagine how difficult walking would be for toddlers and their little legs. I get asked a lot, should I bring a stroller to Disney World for my toddler or even my older child? My answer is always yes. In fact, it is not unusual for kids as old as 8 years old to need a stroller to help keep pace with adults during a trip. If you want to know more about strollers, check out my Ultimate Stroller Guide. I'll link it above. Now, of course, this should be without being said, but take a lot of pictures with your toddler. Pictures from my little man's first few trips still bring me tears of joy. Plus, they help him remember the experience. You will always get the person saying, well, they won't remember this. You know what? They may not, but I definitely will. I recommend taking photos of yourself plus splurging on the Memory Maker. Memory Maker includes all of the pictures taken on the attractions and by PhotoPass photographers, and of course at the PhotoPass studios like Sir Mickey's in Magic Kingdom or Disney Springs PhotoPass studio. The photographers are really amazing, and really it is well worth the extra money. My next tip I relearn every time that I go to the park, and that is be flexible. I inevitably will try to go to a ride and that will either have a breakdown or the line gets super long right before we get there, and we have learned to just go with the flow. Make sure that you get the rides that you really want to get done, but it may not be in the order that you originally had figured out. So really be flexible and just enjoy the day. Which leads me to my final tip. Have fun with your toddlers at Disney World. Disney World with a toddler should be fun. In fact, I love visiting Disney World now more with my toddler than I did before him, because seeing the parks through his eyes makes me feel the Disney magic even more. Now be realistic about what your toddler can handle and make happy memories within those constraints. Now my final thoughts on visiting Disney World with a toddler. Disney World is an amazing, magical place for those of all ages. But I think Disney World with toddlers brings a special kind of magic to a trip. Now you do have to follow some rules and take the tips and tricks, but it can be done and it can be amazing. Now if you're still unsure of taking a toddler to Disney World, leave your questions or comments below and I will more than happily to answer them. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a huge thumbs up. It really does help let YouTube know that this video is helpful, and it helps spread that video so other people can get help. And of course, if you'd hit that subscribe button and hit the bell to be notified when I release new content, that does help as well. With that being said, I hope everyone has a great day, and we'll see you real soon. Bye-bye, everybody.